What's up, guys, and welcome back to TI6 China Qualifiers. We got EHome going up against Vici Gaming, both of whom have beat CDEC, and I think EHome just had a break. So I think EHome just have a one-game victory and VG are 1-1. I think they lost up against VG Gaming Reborn, but I'm not sure about that, so look it up yourself. I'm Mike Loris, going to be your caster for today. This is going to be the last game for me for tonight, guys. Got other people all over the world casting all the other games, so you just gotta kind of crawl through the Twitch channels and find what you want. But for right now, we're gonna have, I guess the winners, we could say, of this at least my round robin experience so far today. Tongfu and CDEC, I guess, are the losers if this was GSL format, but it's not. Got round robin going all up in the next 2 days. We'll see what these drafts are going to look like. Vici Gaming pretty much beating down CDEC consistently with a Terrorblade pick, and EHome kind of just destroying CDEC with just outplays across the board. But taking a quick look at our bans now, lots of this AoE teamfight shenanigans going to be banned out. You know, kind of weak heroes being banned out. I mean, heroes that both teams have picked up pretty consistently, but as far as overall strength level is concerned, let's just say Lifestealer is still in the pool. Let's just say Beastmaster has been ignored. Let's say Phoenix is still here as well, or just go for the balanced Demon Man. Now, I'm trying to make that a thing because I do think that Terrorblade is pretty freaking crazy right now in this patch, and clearly these other teams agree as well. The Metamorphosis is just so powerful. They could probably tone down the cooldown and also bring down like the power boost you get from it, and it'll still be fine. But who knows? We got Terrorblade on the field for EHome, so already they should be looking at a few things. They should be looking at making sure that they don't get run over in the early game by any sort of early game shenanigans, Earth Spirit. But also, gotta make sure that you don't run into a whole lot of magic damage. If you can somehow make that happen, then you're gonna be pretty darn happy. If you can get heroes like Dragon Knight, heroes that push well in really any circumstance. They've run Enigma before on the EHome side. Who else is there? Death Prophet, a big hero that is still in the pool. Then that makes the pushes from Terrorblade all the more terrifying, and well, it really is going to put the screws to Vici Gaming defensively, at least. Vici Gaming, the Earth Spirit is certainly a good start at this, applying pressure to a Terrorblade. If they can get a nice aggressive lane, that'll be great, but usually those lanes are limited to Darkseer. Like, it'll be aggressive if you have a Darkseer pick, which clearly they don't, it's banned out. And if that's not the case, then usually it's just not going to be an aggressive lane. You gotta kind of concede some points in that lane. They could always just go into the jungle and kind of be okay with the fact that that hero, whatever it may be, is going to get free jungle farm. But for right now, Vici Gaming, what do they want? CTY's hero has always been typically picked up last. Burning's hero has usually been picked up first phase. But this is HYM's hero right now in the Earth Spirit, so I don't know. You could get, I guess, your Burning hero right now, but they're gonna actually prioritize CTY's hero a little bit more highly, which is, of course, not really what they do, Vici Gaming usually. But this is a fine adaptation. You gotta get that kind of mid-pick phase ban in there with that Death Prophet. You definitely do not want to be facing up against a Terrorblade and a Death Prophet. It's so hard to push into those two, to defend against those two when they're pushing. So it is going to concede a little bit of perhaps the EHome strength in pushing. And the Death Prophet's usually just going to have solid lineups no matter what. And CTY is very comfortable in this hero. He pretty much carried his team to victory several times in the open qualifiers just by playing Death Prophet, being Death Prophet up against no real bad matchups. EHome, though, they're going to run back the Crystal Maiden. Now, this is a pretty interesting one. Last time they had Crystal Maiden with Clinks, a hero that is really starved for mana, and who else did they have? It was Doom, another hero who would love to get that extra mana, and I unfortunately am with a terrible memory right now, so I don't really remember the other ones, but they all had really bad mana pools and were able to spam out accordingly. Now, that is something that EHome may still be looking to do. Terrorblade usually doesn't run into mana problems really ever. But another thing that EHome had with this Crystal Maiden pick was the fact that the opponents in CDEC did not have super aggressive supports. Crystal Maiden really doesn't want to get into fights. She wants to get into ganks, where she's only on the aggressive, because Crystal Maiden on the aggressive is an incredibly powerful hero. Crystal Maiden in the fight is an incredibly weak hero, until you get, a lot of items, a lot of experience, what have you. That's usually not going to happen for a very long time. So this is a little bit bold. Now, EHome, they did play this Crystal Maiden, Fenrir's Crystal Maiden very, very well. So it is a hero that he is very comfortable with. But just inherently, she is so slow. And once you're hit with that siphon, once you're hit with that rolling boulder or boulder smash or whatever, then things certainly add up. And Crystal Maiden's lack of defensive responses. What the hell was that? Sorry, I thought I heard something. I think that was my dog, like, eating a bone or something. Whatever. No distractions. Yeah, I think Crystal Maiden's weakness defensively is certainly going to be easier to exploit as Vici Gaming. So this is a weakness in EHome's draft. The fact that the Crystal Maiden, usually does like to kind of play passively until she goes in for that burst kill is something that the Earth Spear in particular can definitely take advantage of. Now, the Mana Sustain is certainly very nice. I don't think I've seen EHome move the Terrorblade anywhere but safe lane. I don't think anyone has moved the Terrorblade anywhere but safe lane. So, yeah, it seems like we're just going to have a Terrorblade Crystal Maiden. If you freeze someone with Metamorphosis, you'll maybe be able to beat them down if you have another disable. But we'll see what that other disable is going to be, if they have any at all. I do like this opening from VG Gaming a little bit more. I feel like the potential for both these heroes is just a little bit higher. They already have a decent amount of magic damage, somewhat, to at least soft counter this Terrorblade, and getting more magic damage is not exactly super difficult. Lion as third pick is looking very attractive for Vici Gaming, mostly because they have the ability to kill off illusions instantly, but also you get the Finger of Death, which is going to pretty much lock out any hopes of Terrorblade to cast Sunder, at least safely in this game. Like Oracle and Morphling are actually going to be taken out.
10 seconds remaining.
Sylar's Morphling is definitely a thing.
5 seconds remaining.
But I'm not really sure if that's something that they should be scared of. These two teams have played together quite a bit, more so than I've seen. So I'm not going to claim to be the authority on these teams' comfort zones and whatnot. But on the other end, got Alchemist banned out along with ET. Another hero that enables Crystal Maiden quite a bit. In the C-Deck game, EHome had Kunkka banned out from them, which would be actually pretty sick here. X-Marks up against Earth Spirit, pretty darn good. Get that Frostbite into Torrent. Maybe it's going a little bit deep, perhaps, but, seems like it might just be worth it. I don't know, in best of ones, probably not. Vici Gaming aren't going to go deviate that far away from what they... Okay, well, there you go. Okay, EHome, I like it. EHome are definitely the team in this China qualifiers that is going to pick up the weirdest things. Mostly everyone else, occasionally a couple of question marks, but EHome are going to be going way off the beaten path. So, yeah, this is a pretty powerful combo. In exactly the reasons I described. Vici Gaming are going to grab a Disruptor again. They're not going to get off the beaten path, at least not yet. It's going to grab up pretty comfortable heroes for them. AoE Silence up against that Terrorblade. Maybe magic damage, not as high as Vici Gaming would really like, coming out from their two supports. But as long as they have the follow-up from their other heroes, they should be good to go. And here we go. Got a Lycan. Here we've actually seen an extraordinarily low amount of, honestly. In the open qualifiers, at least. I've seen 0, I want to say. And if there was one, then it wasn't very impressive. So yeah, Lycan with Death Prophet, it pretty much writes itself. You're going to take advantage of the slow nature of Crystal Maiden. The awkward stage comes here from the Lycan when he has to battle up against Kunkka's Rum, which of course is going to cut his damage by a huge margin, and he's going to have to struggle when he's trying to kill off a Terrorblade. Physical damage from the Lycan, physical damage from the Death Prophet, not exactly the perfect scenario for the Vici Gaming cores versus the core currently selected on EHome. And I don't think this Kunkka is going to be anything but a support. But who knows? Who knows? Mirana the pick now from EHome. Another hero that they used to beat down the C-Deck squad. The matchup was Mirana going up against Timbersaw in the mid lane. It looks like they'll probably run that back. So Mirana, another hero who does benefit quite a bit from the Crystal Maiden aura. but also a hero that can pile on should the mid lane be ganked. Crystal Maiden and Kunkka obviously have a lot of stun duration there, just Frostbite into Torrent, but usually landing the killing blow is going to be a little bit difficult with just the two of them, so that's where Mirana comes in. A leap up against a Lycan is nice, but it's up against a Disruptor Glimpse. But this Mirana also does have the ability to escape out of early Earth Spirit rotations. Even with the Silence and a Siphon from the Earth Spirit and then Death Prophet, it's usually not enough to kill off a Mirana. So EHome, it seems like they're just going to constantly beat this strategy into their opposition. Worked the first time, so maybe it's going to work the second time as well. Batrider banned out from EHome, still looking for that off laner. Ice played a safe lane Clinks in the first game. So we'll see what EHome want to do in the second one. Slardar somehow still making it in the pool. Sometimes you just have weird drafts, man, where Slardar is like ignored and Beastmaster is entirely ignored as well. EHome have run that quite often in the past, so I don't really see a huge reason not to go for it. Get a hero with mobility, some hero to keep the Lycan out of range. Gotta do what you can. Stuns, of course, at a premium up against the Lycan, or Axe. There you go. Why keep him out of range when you can get him in nice and close and then kill him off with the spins? So EHome, they have not your traditional draft, as I said before. Now, Kunkka, Axe, well, we'll see Axe occasionally, but Kunkka, almost never. This is a pretty well-tailored draft to be anti-Lycan, so I'm not really sure what if this Lycan pick is going to find much success outside of pushing towers, jungling, and killing Roshan, which, granted, VG Gaming are absolutely fantastic at. Their ability to take objectives is unparalleled. But when they actually have to get into a fight, if you get called as a Lycan against an Axe, you're in a lot of trouble. And now VG Gaming going to go ahead and grab an Earthshaker. Now, I'm just going to get this out of the way right away. I think Earthshaker is crap in this patch. I do not think that he has his place pretty much anywhere in this patch. So already, I don't like that from VG Gaming. That being said, this Earthshaker is going to go off lane and is also going to have a really bad time. This is not a good lane for Earthshaker. He can jungle, he can roam around, and we have seen that in 0.86, I believe, the Shadow Fiend patch, where you had to have a Shaker start in the off lane and sometimes get a lot, other times just forced out to roam from early on. And that was occasionally fine, but you also have an Earth Spirit kind of dedicated to that role. So what can Shaker actually get here? I'm not really sure if he can get all that much, and if he's also going to end up going up against Axe, I don't really think the chances of that are extremely high, although it is very possible, knowing EHome, then the Earthshaker is just going to get his face smashed in. There's no matchup there at all. ROTK has relied pretty much not on his ability to control a lane, but his ability to recover from a lane in order to win VG Gaming their games, or at least have an impact in VG Gaming's games. And of course, you can't really do that up against as an Earthshaker. Your recovery methods are slow to say the least. Now, fortunately for VG, their Earthshaker is not going to get up against the Axe, and they have to do with an offensive trial line, but still, he's up against the Crystal Maiden, Frostbite into Torrent, into Metamorphosis, beat down from Ice. It's a dangerous lane, to say the least. What this hero does offer, more stun duration to try to deal with the Mirana, try to get some AoE, try to do with the Terrorblade. There is always a lot of upside possible with Earthshaker, but we very, very, very rarely see it actually play out in such a way that you would expect, or at least bank on. It's so inconsistent whenever you pick up a Shaker that that's probably the biggest reason why I don't like the hero. It's always a race to get Blink Dagger, and not even a good one. Like, a Batrider is always a race to get a Blink Dagger, and that's a good one, because, you can get your Blink Dagger a little bit slower, but still, once you get it, you're good to go. Shaker, you don't have the farm ability, so you just, if you get it really late, maybe you can do it. But maybe, more often than not, it's not going to happen. Is my audio still cutting in and out? I upped it again. Didn't hear any problems. God damn it, guys. I'm sorry. I haven't been told that I have had Dota TV issues for months with this exact same setup. And then suddenly it's a thing? I don't know. I'll jack it up a little bit more. Give me 1 second. Voice. Receive volume. Boost. boost. I don't know exactly what this does. Like, I don't really know what I'm doing, but as long as I keep sliding it up, I think it should be going towards a fix. Got a 5-minute delay on the stream, guys, so if it's still an issue, then let me know then. Let's take quick stock of these lanes right now. We have no top lane for the EHome side. Old Levin's going to say, screw this lane. I do not want to be going up against this. Even though I do think he probably can. I mean, there's no risk involved in jungling as an axe. Everyone who's played a pub knows exactly how that goes. Although when you miss your stack, that feels pretty bad, man. Over towards bottom lane. ROTK not under the most pressure right now because of the roaming so far Kunkka. Well, it's definitely an interesting decision. I mean, it's no Earth Spirit, it's no Bounty Hunter Ricky, who I do think Ricky was still in the pool. Doesn't really combo as well. No, but you can combo like this. Torrent to the freehand arrow into CTY. Just value-wise, very, very cost-effective damage output from EHome. But as far as getting kills, you really do need another hero involved there, or another aggressive level of Mirana skills, because Leap is not going to do it versus Death Prophet. You do not ever, guys, want to leap into a Death Prophet unless you know you could burst her down immediately afterwards. That is dangerous to say the least. Old Lanham's doing what he can over here, but this is, of course, giving ROTK quite a bit of extra space. He's going to run to Old 11 right now, but Axe really doesn't want to spend a call to try to get just ROTK. Definitely not worth his time. Race for the rune. Call is going to guarantee he gets it. That's something, I guess. ROTK getting experience is, of course, all an Earthshaker needs. But really, all what an Earthshaker wants is experiencing gold. I'm not really sure if he's going to have a chance to do that. He's got well, level 3 leeched by this axe. That's quite nice for ROTK, and honestly, this Shaker is getting a lot more out of this offlane than I really expected. But still, the screws have not been applied just yet. We got level 2 on Fenrir. He's pretty much good to go. And, of course, we have old Lanham, who's apparently also old. Not really doing a hell of a lot outside of this mid lane. I can understand if they were trying to do this with Axe up towards top lane, trying to join him with the Kunkka. Land a call, land a torrent, or more often than not, land a torrent, land a call, and you can get some pretty easy kills in these supports. But yeah, right now the Kunkka's just camping out mid, and honestly CTY is tanky enough to withstand a torrent, arrow, starstorm combo, especially if he has an Earth Spear behind him. He may even have enough to turn around. Because once you actually finish that combo as EHome, you don't have much right-click tip damage afterwards. Kunkka is not usually in range to do it. Mirana's right-click damage is a little bit less than average, to say the least. So yeah, it's pretty much just a one-off stun combo. Well, old Lanham is going to find himself on the top lane right now, but this is, of course, going to leave old Chicken kind of out to dry. My voice is lagging in-game. I want to say that might be because of Perfect World servers. I'm seeing it just fine, but I don't know what I'm sending to Perfect World. So that may be out of my control, guys. I am not sure, but I have not heard of that problem anytime else, and I usually... Chinese games are the games I cast the least. So I want to say it's out of my control. I don't know how to fix that, so I'm sorry, guys. My threshold's at like 1%. I think it's always easiest just to blame Perfect World servers. That usually doesn't lead me astray. Ice still putting the screws to this bottom lane. He's got Reflection and the mana to cast in ROTK. Well, he's going to land a Fissure. Fenrir's right behind him. ROTK has no clue about this, but Ice isn't really capable of diving the tower right now. Got Earth Spear roaming in as well. He has done about as little as the Kunkka, at least to gain tangible benefits. Rolling into a half-health Terrorblade may just be enough if the Earthshaker had mana, which unfortunately he does not. If he had a Fissure, you might be able to get the kill here. But he rolling in, it's going to be used. Ice slowed down now, taking tower aggro as well. Only one shot, though. Ice is going to take a piddly amount of damage from HYM. Is going to put up an illusion and just go to town on the Earth Spear, grab the kill, and now ROTK, he's going to charge in as well. There is no more spell casting coming out from Fenrir, so ROTK is going to be just fine. But the disrespect from HYM versus Ice. If you make that play, perhaps 5 seconds later, he doesn't have the Metamorphosis, so he doesn't have this plus 60 damage. And you probably have a chance at killing him. But yeah, I mean, you go in against Metamorphosis, you're asking for trouble. You're going in with an Earthshaker who has no ability to help out at all. And you're going to be asking for trouble. Again, Fissure, and you might have a chance there, but that clearly wasn't on the table right now. Old Lanham actually sticking up towards the top lane still is Leech level 3. They got a pincer on Burning, although they don't really see him. Now they do, and now they have the pincer, but they do not have X marks. So landing a freehand torrent might be a little bit difficult, and now Old Lanham is actually stuck in the trees between the neutrals and the wolves. Sylar's going to try to find an angle to go through. Fissure from nowhere is going to get the kill, and Old Eleven's trying desperately to kill off Burning. Call has already been used. He is going to actually get jumped by CTY also, and HYM. My god, VG Gaming. They bring in literally their entire team. Yeah, okay, well, I'm pretty sure EHome didn't deserve that. But they show up with everyone, get a handful of kills, but now the fight's not done yet. Freehand arrow onto Burning with the torrent there as well. They'll take down the disruptor immediately. Now get the frost onto Sylar, who's going to be kicked out by HYM, but it's not going to save him. Disengage Fissure. Is that good enough? Got an X marks now leveled up on an Old Lamb. He'll yank back HYM, get the kill for Fenrir. And just like that, EHome, who lost 2 heroes, are going to gain 3 heroes in exchange. And the biggest thing, perhaps, is the fact that we have Ice still in this game. I don't know what happened to his skin. It's gone or something. But he took down the bottom tier 1 tower. He's gotten all the way to the bottom tier 2 tower. CTY on top of Old 11 is going to drain him out. Okay, well, yeah, that's kind of just what happens.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
It's voice threshold. Guys, I could show you my voice threshold right now. I could drop it to 0. I'm not sure what that's actually going to do, but the green bar, you see that green bar? I don't know. This looks good to me. This looks like a decent recording threshold. That might just be too bad, but if it is too bad, please be sure to let me know, and I apologize for the 5-minute delay in advance. But I'll literally drop it to 0. I don't know, guys. Over towards mid lane. My bad for missing that one. Kunkka in the middle of nowhere. Still arrow lands at HYM. Double Starstorm onto HYM as well, and it will get the kill. A decent trade for EHome, all things considered. Gold going to the pockets of the Mirana is gold going towards the Aghanim Scepter, which actually lets Mirana, do decent things in the game individually without leaning on her allies. But the trade across the board is EHome. They absolutely demolish this bottom lane. Fenrir awkwardly trying to strain up against the field to get that double damage. You're not going to find it. But now Kunkka, we got a level 5 Kunkka on the field. Level 3 Tidebringer. A lot more damage than I was expecting from Kunkka. Usually in a support Kunkka role, or at least a non-core, a non-mid lane Kunkka role, you usually get a little bit more X marks a spot. You just use it for the control and you try to manage it that way. But Tidebringer, it's a lot of damage. It has, I don't know, it's a little bit less consistent because, yeah, you're hitting for a lot more often, I guess, but still the amount of damage you could cleave over to the enemies isn't really that high because you're not getting any farm. So it's an interesting build to see Old Lanham going for. Trying to burst him down, I guess. My knowledge of support Kunkka builds in the Chinese region is, to say the least, faulty. He's going to get hit with the Siphon, and this is just kind of poking and prodding from CTY, trying to bait heroes from EHome in. Looks like the bait has been successful because HYM now going to jump in, but he gets tagged with an arrow as soon as he arrives. Arctic is going to deploy the Fissure onto Fenrir with the shapeshifted Sylar. They'll grab the CM. And now Burning going to get the glimpse back onto Old Chicken. Leaps right over the field and is going to peace out, but the Courier is not going to be able to do that. Old Eleven's going to arrive. However, he's way in over his head right now. He's got to leave immediately. They're just going to connect, get the roll in as well. Torrent going to land, but the arrow completely whiffs. Now Old Eleven, stuck in the trees, will drop as well. EHome kind of trickling into VG Gaming. No lag, it's okay. Okay, I think it's fine. I think we fixed it. If it's lagging in your Dota TV client, it's because you guys get to experience the magic that's Perfect World, and I am kind of lucky in that fact that I don't. Oh, freehand arrow onto HYM Fenrir. He already uses Nova, so he doesn't have that one, but Storm is going to get the kill. And Ice. He was doing work. We got the rat in the game. It seems like VG Gaming just kind of forgetting that there's a Terrorblade in this game. Because there's definitely a Terrorblade in this game, and he took down the entirety of the bottom lane. VG Gaming are finding success in no small part because they've devoted their entire team into making these plays. EHome have been fighting just with 4 heroes, and yeah, they've been making some kind of a little bit careless mistakes, let's say. But in the effort of space creation, mission success, man. Ice has been demolishing the bottom lane in the meantime. His farm is looking pretty darn good as well. Going Yasha first. Interesting to see not rushing the Dragon Lance for that health component. But I suppose if you expect to be left alone, why get health, right? It's pointless. Gotta get the deeps. All the DPS in the world. VG Gaming, though, they're still doing quite well for themselves fight-wise. There is a small problem that's arising right now where they have used Exorcism, what, like 2-3 times now? And yeah, Death Prophet loaded. 500 on CTY again. This is his jam, this Death Prophet. But VG Gaming have yet to take any objectives. They've only lost towers. They can very quickly switch that up. In fact, right now, it seems like they're looking for a smoke into a tower, perhaps. But Exorcism with the Lycan on the team. Yeah, towers can get destroyed like nobody's business. EHome in the meantime, they're smoking in. They do have a boat right now, and this is very close quarters. Bolt Smash gonna land onto 2 heroes. Static Storm onto Old Lanham only, though. Poor Kunkka is screwed. They get the glimpse back onto Old 11 as well. He's gonna call for a little bit of extra armor. The damage is not quite high enough, especially when CTY gets tagged with an arrow. Magnetizes on everyone. Now the shapeshift coming in from Sylar. Fenrir's in the corner right now, hit with the fissure. Not really sure what that play was about. He maybe didn't expect ROTK to be to his north. And now Old 11 still chased down by the wolf. Big bad wolf. Call armor. I don't think that's gonna do it unless Sylar runs out of shapeshift right now. Nope, got the kill. Munching him down. But again, as we say in the business, space created. TP from CTY. Is he going to disrespect Ice as well? Sunder isn't going to do a ton here. Yule Scepter and the Ghosts and the Siphon will get the kill on the Terrorblade. CTY 7-0-2. My God is going to get a free kill on the Terrorblade, who is again ratting his team into parity in these fights at best. I'm not really sure if it is necessarily parity, as VG Gaming are just all over the EHome squad. And the best part about this is that they have ROTK involved in a good portion of these fights. So Blink Dagger on Earthshaker is not too far away. Once he's able to get that, the aggressive power of VG Gaming explodes outwards. And Old 11, yeah, he's pretty close to his Blink Dagger as well. But so far it seems every single time the axe has shown his face, he's just dead. Okay, I know it's fine now, guys. I know it's fine. Jeez. Stupid mic. Settings always change when you don't change them. Yeah, but we got Blink Daggers coming up for both sides right now. VG Gaming, objectives taken, still 0, which is perhaps a concern. But they can Roche pretty much right now, just with Sylar, add another hero or two, and there's no in-game sound. I hear in-game sound. You guys are deaf. Ice. He'll teleport away. He'll be just fine.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Still EHome. They have taken quite a few towers through ratting. Old Lanham, he's still farming it up. I mean, he is going to go for that armlet burst build. I guess when you go for max Tidebringer, you got to get all the effective damage in the world, and it doesn't really get better than an armlet for any hero. Still a smoke up from EHome. They're just looking for these kills, looking to get some space for Ice to once again rat his way into the towers. S and Y, full build for the Terrorblade. Interesting. They're gonna find the Sylar Lycan. Arrow's gonna tag onto a random wolf though. Still the stars are gonna land. Nana spins to get this kill though with the torrent and the boat. It's gonna connect onto 2 and it will get Sylar killed off. But CTY, he's got 2 siphons running. He's gonna go straight for Old 11. He's gonna try to 1v3. Old Lanham also walled off by the Fisher from ROTK. And now the Radiant have got to run to the north. That's not their base. They're gonna lose both. Given up towards the Earth Spirit somehow. Don't ask how he got those kills. I don't know. Up against CTY's Exorcisms, Earth Spirit gets the last hits. Doesn't matter. Got kills. They do lose Sylar, and perhaps more importantly, the Exorcism is popped in kind of a defensive location on the map. This is not where you want to pop Exorcism. You want to pop it right here, so you can get the tier 1 tower, even push into the tier 2. But now the Exorcism is down. Since Lycan is dead, killing off this tower is actually very difficult for VG Gaming. That is actually a worthwhile trade for EHome. More worthwhile still if they were able to get that pick off, but that's fine. Because they hold onto their structures and should be doing just fine, but this is the problem for EHome right now. Yes, they are taking down structures, which translates to the map control and whatnot, but they are not winning these fights. They're not pulling ahead in farm. So yeah, they do have extra tower gold, but it's just helping them to break even in this game. Okay, good. No S&Y. I was very surprised at that. Yeah, just a classic Dragonlance build. Kind of got caught off. I was going to say, like, S&Y is an outdated build. He should be going for Dragonlance. Well, smoke up for VG Gaming. Blink Dagger on Shaker. I don't believe shown off yet. They have the shapeshift. Smoke's going to run to smokes. Mirana going to push forward. CT wide, though. Grabs an Invis rune. They do see each other. And it looks like that should be fine. Still 11 looking for initiation. You really don't want to go into the Death Prophet, though. I don't think they have enough burst damage to convincingly kill her off before something jams up their combo, i.e. Fissure from RTK. So even trying is rather suicidal. She has Invis, she has Yules. HYM and Old 11 so close to one another. They can probably hear each other breathing. But they can't see each other, so they obviously must not be there. Kind of tense moment right now, but in this period of time, notably, no one's actually winning in this stage because no one's doing anything at all. I mean, now they have Siler up towards top lane. He's going to start getting some farm, but usually in those situations, whoever is going to call it quits first is going to win. Just because they get more farm. It's marginal, to say the least. Both sides with these Blink Daggers, though, should be looking for more kills. The VG Gaming side not getting objectives is still concerning. The Necrobook on the Lycan, he's certainly getting there. He really is. Death Prophet is, of course, loaded, hasn't died yet. But EHome are looking at an Aghanim Scepter on Mirana pretty quickly. Once that happens, it is still very possible for VG Gaming to kill her off. They have Fissure into Kinetic Field Static Storm, which should be enough to just straight up kill Mirana. You get a couple more spell casts in there of, whatever. But you have Glimpse as well. As the silence from the Death Prophet, seeing as though she's such a high level, the silence is going to be maxed out pretty quickly. So the Mirana split push, at least by herself, is not going to be incredibly safe. But it will still increase her damage output in the fights by a very, very large margin. So it's definitely still worth going for. That's obvious. I'm not really sure if it's worth waiting for. What is happening, though, is that this is a split push, kind of a feign, because top lane, Ice there, Echo Slam onto the Axe, and he's going to get blown up! Mostly by the Shaker. Space creation is this time inadequate to get the tower up towards top lane. And EHome once again suffer a pretty significant loss in the Axe, who has 0 kills. That's kind of concerning. But the Blink Daggers seemingly trumped every single time. Now Ice. He's going to get hit with the Fissure. There's a Siphon here as well. He does have a Sunder, but he's silenced, so he can't cast it. No Manta Style either. Oh boy, Terrorblade found his Bane in the Earthshaker? Is that where we are right now? Probably not. But EHome, it just seems like they're not really doing anything in this game. Like, they're looking for maybe occasionally a couple of team fight engagements. But it seems like VG Gaming, they are looking for more and getting more. Whereas for EHome, yeah, they're getting these items up, and the Aghanim Scepter Mirana is amazing. But it doesn't seem like the payoff is quite as high as what VG Gaming's potential is right now. Like, this Death Prophet is just absolutely terrifying. Level 13, top of the net worth chart, out farming the Terrorblade handily. Plus we got a Lycan who's not too far behind. This passive state where no one's really doing anything is just EHome bleeding out kills. You can see their gold lead technically there, but this passive stage where nothing's happening is favoring VG Gaming. It won't favor them all the time. Once Ags comes up, you'd expect it maybe to be a little bit better for EHome, but not by a huge margin. And now Sylar is going to finally do what Lycan is kind of picked to do. He's going to demolish towers. Tier 1 easily taken, but it's a trade. Fortification is there. Glimpse back onto the Axe. He's going to Yules himself up. He doesn't have Yules. He got Yules up by the CTY. Still, it doesn't matter. Should get the kill. Oh, one more tower shot. There it is. Ice now walled off from the rest of his squad. Arrow's going to sneak in, but it won't connect to anyone. X marks into the torrent's going to catch HYM. Now Ice just letting loose with Lamb's cleave damage, actually. Going to get a handful of kills. Axe, quote-unquote, initiation worked out pretty darn well because Ice was able to just sit in the back and right-click away. Rum also applied onto the vast majority of EHome. And for VG Gaming, they're unable to get into the middle of the fight with Exorcism because they simply don't have it available. EHome find a victory. A pretty big victory in being able to kill off the tower.
Radiant's bottom tower is
Structure fortified. Oh, it's denied. That's actually pretty bad. But still, they get a team fight win. I guess that's something. But again, is it enough to really get them out of this funk? VG Gaming were not at their full strength in that, far from it. And that was a miscast Eul Scepter. Is he the only one with the Eul's Death Prophet? Why can't I click this button? There we go. He is. So glimpse back into immediate Eul's is not the play when you have a static storm there. So yeah, that was just a little bit of miscommunication there from VG Gaming.
structures are fortified.
Tower killed by wolves. Yes, killed by wolves. Jump forward. Axe, though. Gonna catch two. Torrent onto those same two. Starstorm onto CTY to get the kill. Sylar gonna try teleport out. Stars again. Will to be enough. Oh, Will! He dies in the base. Okay. OS Frog, indeed. Got 2 kills on the 2 most important targets based off of an axe jump in. Man, you miss a couple times. That's fine as long as you get something like that. Makes it all worth it. And VG Gaming lose their 2 most important heroes. Fortunately for them, Ice does not have a metamorphosis. So actually being able to tear down this tower quickly, while at the same time looking for Roche, is not an option right now. They should be able to respawn without losing that much. But this bodes ill if EHome are able to continuously land that. It shouldn't be happening again. But when it does, oh man, does it work. EHome now going to exert a little bit of map control around the map. BKB on the Terrorblade. Of course, the Aghanim's on Mirana, so she's going to go full Broodmother status. Axe, if he's somehow able to grab a Blade Mail, that could be pretty sweet in this game, actually. Seems like that's not what he's going to be going for. He's obviously going to be going for the Dragon Lance. Now, an Ogre Club towards BKB just to try to get some sort of counterplay versus the Static Storm. Most likely to play anti-Eul's, anti-Earthshaker. But we have a Moonlight Shadow and Burning. Hit with the X marks. Torrent launching him into the sky. Now here comes the boat. It's going to connect squarely on him. Jumping from Old 11. Instantly silenced. However, the arrow is there. Burning is still taking a lot of damage. Old 11's taking a little bit more. Eul's up into the air. Is going to survive for a little while longer. They will kill off the Disruptor, but lose the axe in exchange. Sylar, shape-shifted up, is going to dive forward. Looking for Fenrir. X marks, though, is going to kind of counter this ultimate cast from the Wolf. Torrent is a little bit off the mark, however. And Fissure onto Old Lanham. He's going to get jumped upon by ROTK. Ice, though, prepping up with the Shapeshift. Is going to go to town onto ROTK with the BKB pop. Nothing can stop him in this form. He's going to take down Sylar as well, who ran out of his ultimate duration. And now they're onto CTY. Can try and desperately kill off Fenrir. Or the Kunkka is going to find neither because of the armlet toggle. And now he's in a way over his head because you can't compete up against Terrorblade as a Death Prophet without Exorcism. It's not going to happen. In the meantime, it is the Mirana to rejoin the fight. Although, maybe a little bit mistimed, is going to tag HYM with a free-handed arrow. Old Chicken again, delivering on his Mirana play. And it's Terrorblade and Mirana, the sole survivors of EHome, whereas for VG Gaming, lose absolutely everybody. It's another great fight for EHome. They waited out the shapeshift duration. The Exorcism, again, not doing nearly enough for VG Gaming. The disengage from EHome is picture perfect. Armlet, Blink Dagger on Kunkka, such a tricky hero to kill if you're not going to burst him down. Yeah, glimpse back, Ice. That'll show him. It seems like the Terrorblade power now is going to rear his ugly head in the fights. That is not to say that VG Gaming cannot deal with him. They certainly can deal with him. Oh, Burning though. 1-star, 2-star, that was okay. A farming arrow? Sure, Burning's going to survive. I'm not really sure what that was about. ROTK, don't go up there, man. Bad idea. Trust me. I see everything from up here. But yeah, the Ice Terrorblade getting a ton of space to farm. And is now on top of the net worth chart. If they are able to get on top of him, though, land a Static Storm, land just a simple Silence and Siphon from the Death Prophet with Exorcism up, land an Earthshaker combo on him, yeah, they will have answers and then some to deal with the Terrorblade, but as long as the BKB is available, and as long as he presses that button, Ice is going to be an absolute menace. And Rum as well. Like, gotta remember that Ghost Ship is like one of the highest potential ultimates in the game. It does an incredible amount of damage. It stuns. It buffs your allies for like near damage immunity. It really does it all if you can land it. And if he just applies the rum on Terrorblade, he can just throw the boat randomly just to apply the rum on Terrorblade. And I would say that would be at least an okay usage of the ultimate. Adequate. Smoke up. VG Gaming, do you have a Blink Echo Slam right now? They knew that there was someone around the corner. They don't know the extent of it. Smoke's going to run into Smokes right now. Blink Echo Slam can be massive, but there's no jump in. It's going to be jumping from Axe first, and he's going to be dropped very low, very quickly, but this is going to actually survive for a little while longer. Static Storm is going to be completely useless from burning. They lose C2Y immediately as Ice Slice's damage cannot be stopped. He's going to go straight towards HYM. I think he's going to die to something. Yes, he will. Ice Slice finally has to deal with a couple of heroes. RTK is going to blink an Echo Slam, but they may take down Ice Slice. Sunder not in time, but now Fenrir's just going to let it go off to the side. Old Lanham looking for Actus route in. It's going to be a jump board from Old Chicken actually to grab the kill, and now they're going to look for the Lycan. He's going to grab himself a haste rune though, kind of fortuitous from the Wolf, so he will be able to make it out of there. Blink X is not in range, I don't think. It might be just on the edge. Oh, it's not going to be enough. Old Lanham, he's old, the Kunkka, gotta cut him a break. They do take down the Terrorblade. Again, VG Gaming do have answers if they can land him, but CTY dying first is the worst possible result there from VG Gaming. And EHome keeping the Mirana alive is going to not only get a couple of kills, but also help Fenrir take down this tower. Last hits, sure, going towards the Radiant, whatever. Either way, tower down. They don't get the Lycan this time, which is, I suppose, less than ideal, but Lycan also really struggling to do his job up against a Terrorblade. It really is just so difficult. He has 26 freaking armor. Is there a Vlad's on the team? I don't think there is. Yeah, so his armor value is only 61 physical damage resistance. It's pretty pitiful, honestly. I got an aura from the Aquila, so there's another chunk of armor there. And of course, he'll have an ultimate orb into Eye of Scotty soon, I would imagine, if not now. Soon for the Terrorblade. You gotta kill him with magical damage, or non-physical damage, let's say. And EHome are taking fight after fight after fight, just better than VG Gaming. In that scenario where they run into each other with the smokes, it should be the first thing you do as Shaker is cast something down this tight alleyway. Blink Echo Slam if you got it. Or just a Fissure, that's good too, but he got nothing off before the EHome side kind of were able to disperse. Because an Echo Slam in that position may not have stunned everyone, but it would have done a lot of damage to anyone, and who knows, that may have just turned the tide. With EHome constantly fighting better, they can feel pretty confident in this. Terrorblade is nowhere close to being 6-slotted right now. He's only going to get scarier for the next couple of item pickups. And Mirana can even start building up towards some diverse items as well. It's like BKB, anti-silence tech for her. An Ethereal Blade is actually amazing in this game. Magic damage for VG Gaming is high enough to kill off certain heroes, so you can't be too reckless with it. But it is going to pretty much keep yourself completely safe versus Exorcism and Lycan. And oh, speaking of Lycan, no jump in from Old 11. Kind of hesitant to do that. Now Sylar going to shapeshift to dive in. His backup is kind of far behind him. Fenrir is going to go put Old 11 invis. They do get the call off, trying to distract the Sylar, just burning. BKB duration right now. Old 11 though is getting clawed to bits. Here comes the rum. Gonna save Old 11 for a couple more seconds. Now Ice has a chance to let loose. He's gonna reflect absolutely everyone and start right clicking Sylar. They get the kill on CTY. He's walled up because of RTK's Fissure. He has to leave. It will just be a 1-for-1 exchange. All the ultimates were used there. Old Lanham still sticking around though. Blink in. CTY. He's gonna get worked down by Ice Slice. Ultimate will save him. He's still got the Sunder. Ice Slice is gonna go to town onto HYM. And now CTY. He's gonna die to the Mirana. At the same time, burning. He can't compete up against the Kunkka with the armlet. There's no chance for him. ROTK. He will teleport out to safety. But what can they do about this Terrorblade? What answers do they have that are actually landing? The answer is nothing. Nothing is landing properly on Ice Slice. Such patient play from EHome, sacrificing the axe. Like, that was Old 11, just knowing that he was completely screwed. Just taking the bullet for the team, man. You gotta do what you gotta do to get them in the right position. And that was also, to be fair, Sylar kind of jumping the gun. I mean, he got the kill, but he was like over here while the rest of his allies were like over here or something like that. They were coming in pretty quick, but not nearly fast enough to take a convincing team fight. They weren't actually there as a team. They were just kind of trickling in, and by the time they were all there, well, the Lycan was already out of shapeshift, and a Lycan without shapeshift has no business being in a fight. So that's what, 3 in a row that EHome have won? This is what it'll do for you. Up to a 10k plus experience lead and gold lead off of what was once 0. Mostly because EHome are just fighting better than VG Gaming. I don't know how else to put it. Their spells, VG, are not landing properly. Their initiation is not really there. It is jank to begin with. Like, it's just a glimpse. Or like a walk-in Yule Scepter. Let's say their methods of initiation have a lot to be desired. RTK can do it, but he's not landing it. And now Terrorblade, man, he's going to get even fatter. Surprised to see him not get the Manta Style, honestly. Get rid of the silence effect. I guess, like, more Echo Slam, I guess, but he's going to opt for evasion instead. Anti-Lycan tech. And that's almost exclusively it. Although more agility from Butterfly. Future pickup, not bad either. Uh-oh, CTY. Just farming. Don't worry, CTY, everything's fine. Suddenly, a million heroes from up the hill. Blink Call is there. C2Y is completely hopeless. He's dead before he has a chance to cast anything. Dead in the duration of the call, honestly. And finally, Old 11 gets a kill. Oh my god. No, somebody notified the newspaper. Ice is just going to use the rest of this Metamorphosis to go to town on this tower. In the meantime, bottom lane, they caught ROTK. X marked. Where you going, Earthshaker? You're not going anywhere. You're dead. And still, Ice is doing rat things, as he has been apparently been raised by rats. And it looks like those rats are of the mutant ninja kind, because they will be strong enough to take down the mid lane Raxes with just the Terrorblade. Metamorphosis is going to run out soon, but his job has already been done. Bottom lane, Sylar trying to do what he can. Suddenly, oh, TP BKB? That's expensive as hell. It's a 9-second BKB charge just to make sure he doesn't die. No, a random illusion actually got the rest of the Raxes. Well, VG Gaming bleeding heroes, bleeding structures, and still with a Lycan Death Prophet lineup, haven't taken a top tier 1 tower. This top tier 1 tower is like the 1% of top tier 1 towers up against this lane comp from VG Gaming. And that Old Lanham also, this quote-unquote support Kunkka, mostly on the roam, suddenly has Armlet crit Vlad's Yules. Like, he's been getting quite a few kills. He's been surfing his Armlet very well. And of course with the Rum, keeping himself alive. But man, you don't expect that amount of farm on a Kunkka played as support in CTY. Oh, not like this. Don't worry, CTY, it's fine. Move up the lane. What can possibly go wrong? Looks like this Moonlight Shadow is not going to find success this time. But still, VG Gaming, they can't feel too confident about this game. They've not been getting enough pushing done. The Death Prophet has been consistently brought down without really any recourse from her, even with having Yule Scepter. I want to say most of the time Yule Scepter on Death Prophet has not been used on herself defensively. And, you know, defensively for Death Prophet is usually mixed in offensively as well. It's usually just lifting up someone else to try to get some greedy kill, and it just doesn't work out. Lycan is still kind of keeping up. AC, though, isn't even going to get them out of this. Random arrow, almost hitting right on the edge. AC is definitely going to help, but not really sure if it's enough at this stage, because at a certain point in this game, you have to worry about the Kunkka as a kind of a hidden carry. Because right now, I don't know exactly how much he does, but Disruptor's sure gonna feel it. The Shaker's sure gonna feel it. So is the Earth Spirit. So it is gonna hit like a cannon occasionally. Let's see how lucky Old Lanham is. Man, a nice big crit. Seal the deal, honestly. But you know, when those crits don't land, you still have a Terrorblade, who is massively farmed and can honestly solo Roche. Come at me, Roche. You got nothing. You got nothing. With Vlad's in the area, Ice can literally do this by himself, but Aegis is most likely going to go towards the Mirana, I want to say. Just has the expendable item slots. You could drop Yasha, I suppose. Have Fenrir or someone pick it up. They have sentries in the area. Moonlight Shadow's going to be spotted by the wolves. Old 11. What you see is one day going to be yours. And what he sees is CTY, HYM, Gonna make the blank call onto 2 heroes, but he's all alone. BKB is gonna pop another jump in for Old Chicken. Double Star Storm onto ROTK. He's gonna glimmer himself out, try to get a little bit more distance, and it looks like he will be fine for the most part. Old Chicken, though, gonna leap away from Sylar, who's gonna BKB, shapeshift in, yet doing no damage. He's gonna find Old 11, but it's an axe only. Where's the Terror Blade? I'm pretty sure he's tearing everyone up in the back, and he will be doing just that. And his BKB's gonna run off, but Sylar, he's out of shapeshift. He's gonna fall for a CTY afterwards with HYM, who's stunned because of a random arrow. They're all gonna die. And it will be Ice 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 to reap all of their souls. Is Roshan still alive? He is. So that guy is pretty happy, but Ice 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 is even happier. Literally no damage being done to Ice Ice Ice. Any damage that was being done would have been pretty easily recoverable with that Sunder. Got the shotgun now up on the Mirana. Defensively and offensively, it really does it all in this game. And that's going to be GG called 32-23. EHome run back the Crystal Maiden, get their Kunkka combo. Oh, that's definitely not what won them this game. What won them this game was team fight, was shot calling. I want to assume it's Fenrir doing all of that, although I'm not 100%. It may be someone else dictating everything. Maybe Lanham. I don't know, guys. I'm sorry. But whoever's making these calls to retreat, to kite out the shapeshift duration, to focus on Death Prophet, disengage away, throw the boat just to keep the axe alive, sacrifice the axe to waste the Lycan's time, get Ice 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 those early game towers while taking kind of questionable engagements in the meantime. It's a shot calling and team play. That is what makes a team, and that's what makes EHome, at least for right now, a little bit better than BG Gaming. They're going to take a clean 2-0 opening to the first day of the China qualifiers. Now, guys, I am done for right now. I'll be back tomorrow at the exact same time, 10 Eastern Standard Time. I'm not going to time convert that because honestly I'm too lazy, but I'll be back then. We also have a whole lot more games going to be coming up soon. Got a whole bunch of games from BTS, Cyclops, Blaze, Drag and Drop. They're all going to be involved in this. But if you guys enjoyed the game despite all the technical issues, be sure to hit that follow button. Follow me on Twitter as well at Mike Loris. It's the stream title. I'm pretty sure you guys can figure it out. I'm going to get some Z's now. Thank you guys for tuning in, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. GG.